trust is everything, and trust tends to grow when you have a community with codes of conduct and also individuals that have healed enough where you're not going to mistreat each other. But then also, if something does go wrong, you're not going to be so broken that you can't jump back in. The resilience of wealth building means you sometimes you know you're going to get punched in the face, but you're ready, you're in it for the fight. So that's another thing about being an investor. Mindset, culture, everything must be built on a type of resilience that says, look, this is who I am. This is what I do. You should never be the person who says, yeah, I tried investing and it didn't work. So I went back to my job and just focused on getting money from my job. And I mean, I'm not saying that your job is bad. I'm saying that's not the right approach. Maybe you sit back and you say, okay, this went wrong. How do I process this in a healthy way so I have the ability to go back right back in the fight, right back in the fight. Don't ever think that being an investor means that money's going to just fly out of the sky every time you turn around. No, you're going to lose as an investor. You will lose more money than you've ever lost in your life. But the goal is that you're going to make more than you lost. Do you understand? The wins will exceed the losses. And the reason I'm a big advocate of the stock market is because the stock market is the undisputed heavyweight champion and wealth creation in America. Right now in America, we have what they call a K-shaped economy. That means you have people on the top going up, people on the bottom going down. The number one definer of that K-shaped economy, the number one factor that they've determined that basically separates individuals into those who love the economy and those who hate it is the stock market. Why do you think? Here's the last thing I'm gonna say. This is a Trump statement. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not. This is not pro or anti. This is just a statement. Right now, the Federal Reserve is debating whether or not they want to lower interest rates. The Trump administration wants interest rates to be lowered badly. Like like he's bullying the Fed chair to try to get the interest rates lowered. He's trying to get people appointed that are going to lower interest rates. But the problem is that most economists will say, well, hey, if you lower interest rates, you got to be careful because you could cause an inflation issue. You can cause inflation to go up. Prices will go up. They don't care. Why do you think they don't care? Why in the world with these people? And you might think that they're all a bunch of dummies. They're not dummies. A lot of the people in his cabinet are Wall Street experts that went to Yale and Princeton and Harvard. They're not dummies. They might be conservative. You might feel like they're racist, but they're not stupid. I went to school with these white boys. I know how they think. Why do you think that they are not concerned about prices going up? Let me explain it to you like this. Inflation means what? The cost of things go up. That means the cost of everything goes up. The value of everything goes up. That means that the cost of bread goes up at the grocery store. If you own real estate, the value of your real estate will go up. Um, if you buy bananas at the store, they're going to go up. If you buy a new car, that's going to go up. If you own stock, that's going to go up. They call that asset inflation. It means everything goes up. So if I'm a wealthy man who's an investor in the stock market and I own real estate, then yeah, if I go to the grocery store, the price of bananas is going to go up. But when the hell do I give a damn about the price of bananas if I'm worth $10 million? Like, yeah, it's going to cost a little more to buy another Mercedes, but I can still buy a Mercedes. Yeah, yeah, I know yeah, my gym membership went up from $50 a month to $55 a month. So big deal. You know why it's not a big deal? It's not just because I've got enough money to afford that, but also because while the price of carrots goes up at the grocery store, the value of my real estate just went up by another $1 million. While you up here worried about the cost of steak at the, whatever, right? Well, my stock portfolio went up another 10%. And I made 1.2 million over here. That's why they don't give a shit. They don't care. It doesn't matter for them. Why? Well, because they're invested in the stock market.